Michelle Torrio, and this is the Be Mindful podcast. Hi there, and welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the present and how it is truly a gift. Now, if you've been following the podcast, you already know I love talking about mindset, manifestation, going after our dreams, and transformation. And if any of those topics are something that you're interested in and you're new, please like and subscribe and follow for more. But today, I wanted to talk about being present because this is a big part of manifesting. And it's also a huge impact to our mental health. It's really important to me that I not only help people rewire their mind and go after their dreams and love themselves and feel confident, but what's even more important to me is your health. This is why I love what I do. What I help my clients with, it's not only to just live the best life, but it impacts our mental health. It impacts our overall well-being, and being present is a huge part of that. For most of my life, I feel like I wasn't really here. A lot of my life, I have worried a lot about the future. And when it comes to manifesting, we can get really caught up in the future and forget to focus on being here and being now and having gratitude for where we are. So I want to talk about that today and really give some tips on how you can take a moment to pause every day, even if it's just for a few minutes, because a lot of us actually, are very disconnected, feel disconnected, are unhappy, or feel stuck. And a lot of it is because we're also overstimulated by everything that is around us. It's very rare when there's silence or a moment of pausing. And a lot of us bring our phones everywhere, right? So when are we truly taking a moment to be here right now? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And before we get started, I just want to remind you next week on June 18th, I'm going to be hosting a live masterclass. This is for the woman who is done lacking confidence. You are ready to step into the version that you know you're meant to be. Maybe you have had this inner feeling in yourself like, I know I am meant for more. I know that I want to live a better life than this. Or maybe you're just done feeling so down, you're done being hard on yourself. Well, if that is you, then this masterclass is for you. And I'm so excited to host this next week. So if you want to join me live, this is completely free. Check the link in the description or comment below and I'll send you the link so you could sign up. Okay, so let's get into this episode and talk about why a lot of people struggle with being present. So, most of my life, I feel like a lot of you can relate where we're constantly just planning the future. When you're little, they ask you, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you get to high school, they're asking, okay, like, what college are you going to go to? For most of our lives, it just feels like we're constantly planning the next few years of our lives. Now, there's nothing wrong with planning. I am a planner to the T. Like, I love planning. It gives me more structure. However, there are so many of us where we're like mentally somewhere else, like we're not even here. And that was me most of my life. Growing up, majority of us are not taught about our mindset, like what we're focusing on and the impact that it has. What you think of often impacts your emotions daily. And a lot of us are just on like a spinning wheel. We're thinking of tomorrow. We're thinking about yesterday. We're thinking about next month. We're thinking about the next milestone that's going to happen in our life. We're never really stopping and enjoying right now. This is a lot on our brain, and our brain needs a second to chill the fuck out, honestly. We need to chill. And we can't just wait till the end of the day for us to sleep at night. And most of us, we don't get enough sleep at night. So when are you actually tending to your brain and giving your body the time to pause? And another thing, we're not really experiencing life. we're constantly somewhere else. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, because I've been there too many times. And right now, I feel like I'm the happiest because I've really trained my mind to not focus on the things that are problems as much anymore. Like, I used to really do that and it stressed me. I used to focus on the worst case scenarios, worrying about things. But that's not what life is about. Life is all about experiencing and having fun and being with our family, our loved ones, and just joy. That is what life is. And if you get anything from this episode today, that is what I want you to remember, is that we're not here to just live life, work every day, and just rinse and repeat. We have to understand that no matter what, we're going to go through human experiences, right? That are challenging, but outside of that is so much good, and it's our choice to really focus on that. We've just been really conditioned for so long to focus on what's next. And so, this is my challenge for you to really connect with the present. And of course, obviously, before we leave on this episode today, I'm going to give you tips on how to do that. I always like to give you information on like why this is a problem and why this keeps happening, and maybe give you that awareness. Like, maybe you are someone that feels like your mind is always racing. I am someone that was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and I got help. I got the tools that I needed, and majority of us don't have those tools, and that's okay. We tend to be really hard on ourselves, and there's no point in shaming ourselves. It's kind of just having that awareness of how we are feeling and doing something about it. So if you're not happy and you are struggling, and I understand that sometimes outside of our mind, maybe we're in survival mode, but I'm really all about energy. And when you learn to shift your energy, shift your thoughts, like, the world around you starts to change, guaranteed. When we are not present, it is costing us joy. It is costing us connection. It's costing us gratitude. It's costing us peace and self awareness. That's what happens when we're not present. For example, have you ever achieved anything in your life and barely celebrated and you wanted to just move on to the next? If you can relate, I can too, because I've definitely done that. I was always someone that was so determined to accomplish things that once I did, I'm like, okay, on to the next. And I never really celebrated that. I would just think, like, oh, like, not that it was easy, it's just kind of like I had to do it, and not really good job. Like, the fuck? Like, why am I not patting myself in the back? Like, I'm reminding you too, like, if you are someone that does that, I want you to think back of your last accomplishment, and whether it's big or small, be proud of yourself. Really tell yourself, like, good job. Like, I sometimes look in the mirror at myself and I'm like, good job, Rachel. You fucking did that shit. Like, you did that. Like, really clap for yourself. And if that feels uncomfortable, that is your cue. Not, no, no, that's not your cue. That's your sign. That's your sign that you are just not congratulating yourself on the big or small wins. I promise you, the more you do that, you will build more confidence in yourself because you're acknowledging the work that you have done. Like, right now, I am so, so proud of the mindset work I have done. I was a very unhappy teenager and very unhappy in college. And man, kind of getting emotional here and kind of want to cry for myself because I was just so hard on myself and I didn't need to be. I was legit a Debbie Downer, and not to other people, not to my loved ones. I was always the one cheering on the people I loved, but when it came to myself, I would never give myself a break. Like, it would just be like, okay, whatever, on to the next. And so I don't want that to be you. Recognize yourself. You deserve it. Another question I want to ask yourself is, have you ever been surrounded by people, but you're not actually there? So I see this happen a lot, and this is something that I want to work on myself because I do this too. Sometimes we're with people and then we go on our phone. And I honestly hate that. Like, I hate when I do it, and I don't like when other people do it because it's like, yo, we're here together. Like, let's be present. And I'm thinking of an old memory, and this is my godfather. Rest in peace, my Nino Derek. He passed away from cancer. And I remember when I was younger, we were all together at my grandma's house, and I think I was on my phone, and he was like, hey, join us. And I didn't get it. And he said it again. He's like, why don't you join us? And then I put my phone down, and it's just a memory that like I'll never forget. And so if you do that, put your phone down and be there, be present. You could be missing out on something that's so memorable. Just acknowledge that. Like maybe you might be missing out on life because you on your phone, or your mind is racing. Like if your mind is racing and you're constantly thinking of things you need to do, that is your sign to take a breather, take a few breaths, be like, I'm here right now and I'm safe, I'm okay, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to enjoy this moment because you won't get the moment back. Like literally YOLO. You only live once. So be there and be present. I really used to think that life just passes by too fast. And yes, it totally does. But there's also our attention, right? Like our attention may be elsewhere. And I don't want to live like that. I want to be here. I want to grow old and live till however old I'm meant to be and know that I was really present with my life. I only share what I think is meant to be shared. So this was actually pretty private and we didn't really share it with anyone besides our family. But a couple weeks ago, me and my husband actually got in a car accident. And obviously, I'm okay. I'm here. I'm good. I'm so grateful that I'm good and my husband is good. Luckily, our dogs weren't in the car. It was just us two. And, my car's not okay, but it's in the shop. But it was a reminder for me that it's okay. It's just one of those things that like shit happens. It's annoying that we have to deal with it, but I don't need to reminisce on it. Like, I don't need to focus on, oh my gosh, I have to deal with the car insurance now. Yeah, it's annoying and it was pretty traumatic, but the blessing is that I am here. My husband is here. We are alive. And I share this with you as a reminder that life can be taken at any moment. And stop focusing on the worst things. Like, stop focusing on your problems. Focus on the good. Focus on what matters. Focus on your happiness. That is what's important about life. Like, we should be living life to the fullest. We should be happy. And even when life gets hard, we have to try our best to remember that it's temporary. Whether it's good or bad, it is always temporary. But being present is a practice that we can add into our lives every single day. So let's go over that. Let's go over what we can do to be more present with our life. So, to practice being more present, it's truly being intentional with it. And it does take practice because if you've just been ongoing in your mind for most of your life, like you've wired your brain that way. So, we need to train your mind to learn how to slow down. One of my favorite tips to be present is when you're with people you love, just stop and like look around. Soak it all in and have gratitude for it. Have gratitude for that moment. It's just so much joy seeing the ones you love so happy. And so I advise you to try that. Try to do that to practice being present. Another tip to practicing being present is when you're working on a task, focus on just that task. There was research done on people working on computers and they were not able to stick to one thing within I think less than 2 minutes or a minute. I forgot what it was. It was very low. And that just shows your attention span is very low and you're not really being present in that moment because you're going from one to the other. And that happens in our mind a lot, right? our mind is constantly racing for some of us. So if you want to practice being present, focus on one task, even if it's like 10 minutes, like put a timer and really challenge yourself to see if you're able to stay on that task the entire time. If you find yourself trying to reach for your phone or change to something else, like that is your sign that your attention span is very short. So going back to the task, right? So if you're working on a task, put a timer for yourself. Start with 5 minutes, start with 10 minutes, and extend it. There are research studies that the older you get and you don't train your mind to focus on anything, like your brain starts to decline. And I don't want my brain to decline. So when you train your mind to learn how to focus on things longer, it's actually so beneficial for your neural pathways, for rewiring your brain. So I highly recommend that you try that tip too. The last tip I want to give you for being present and really allowing yourself to slow down, try your best to meditate. Maybe you need an audio and you just can't sit there quietly, and that's totally fine. But if you can sit for like a minute and focus on your breath or turn on a short meditation to kind of just be there for a second, I really recommend that. Like I mentioned earlier, our brain needs a moment to relax and have time to pretty much like rejuvenate. When we go to sleep, our body and our brain is healing itself, and we need more time for rest and recovery. The future version of you that you want to become, that next level you, they're not sitting there worrying and like spending all day worrying about the future, like what's to come. They're fully engaged with right now and today. And when you are more present with your life, more opportunities come your way. You are in a flow. So imagine you are aligned and taking steps towards your desires. And when you take steps, that's it. That's all you need to do. You don't have to worry if it's going to work out. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to do all this and this and this. Like for example, like I'm working on this masterclass, and I'm going to be real with you. It's a lot of work, and I can worry and freak out. I can. And there's actually quite some things I need to get done. And I had a moment of panic, like, oh my gosh, am I going to do this on time? Like, what if I forget something, even though I wrote everything down? And I reeled it in. I was like, okay, these are limiting beliefs. These are worries that I don't need to freaking think about. And I fucking got this. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I am going to show up for my people and host an amazing, fun masterclass. And that is all. That is an example of me shifting into the present moment, knowing like I'm going to focus on what I can and work on what I can today and now and not worry about what's going to happen. That is the power of your mind. That is where you get to choose a different thought. Like that's a perfect example. The more you lean into the present and let go of focusing on what's to come, you build trust in yourself and you build confidence. So when you are present and you are here and you are engaged with right now, you become available for what's meant for you. So for example, a way you could be present today is if you're going to grab lunch with someone, put your phone away. If you're going to have coffee today, drink that coffee, put your phone down, and just be present in that moment. Enjoy that coffee. Be grateful that you get that coffee. Or get outside and go on a quick walk and leave your phone at home. Like leave the distractions and admire the world around you. It's okay to put our electronics down for a moment to just be here right now. So as you're going along your day today, let me know in the comments or message me like how you practice being present. The life you're trying to manifest isn't built on some distant future. It's really built on the small moments that we're living today. So really try your best to not miss your life while you're busy planning it. Plan it and trust the process. Trust it's all going to work out in your favor, and just be there, be present, and really focus on the good in your life. And that is the end of today's episode. But before you go, don't forget to sign up for my masterclass. I hope to see you there. It is next week on Thursday, June 18th. And as always, don't forget to be mindful, because who you are from within will attract from the out. See you in the next episode.